Hey everyone, it's Thursday, so obviously there's no Saturday, or Sunday. No tractor pulls or monster truck rallies. Hey, I just want to talk to you guys. I'm gonna do a live stream and a little bit on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, but on Facebook. Mainly because of all of you out there are out there. Some things I want to talk to you about. So we are launching. I'll have it done over the weekend, but we will have basically the portal where you can get all of our services and programs consolidated, including payment links. So that'll make it a lot easier. We are putting together quite the comprehensive programs, a list of programs. Like I said, my goal is to be the Library of Congress for real estate and other tangible asset investors. And I want to be able to provide you guys with lenders, with funds managers who can, and I said funds, like we have a lot of them, thousands, 8,000 right now, and over 20,000 in the next 30 days, plus all the white label documents and stuff you want. I recently went to Walmart and I bought I had to take 20 USBs to start downloading all the materials that I have. It literally is, I'm trying to do it so I have all, like items on each one. So one will have like lender list one, two, and three. Another one will take, so that way I have them all organized. And then I'm going to duplicate them and provide them to two other people, so they have copies of everything because I have quite an extensive array of materials. I have like almost everything you will need. If I don't have it, I'm going to get it. Now, like I said, we are putting probably 50% of what we charge for our programs back into developing additional resources. We are going to be doing a serious upgrade in April. I have an office that will basically double as a studio. I was there into the pandemic. They closed it for, down to people who had the offices there. I was hot desking. So when I returned, they basically had the social distancing, but I had a reservation for one of the offices. Now I'm going to get one of the three offices that's coming available on April 1st. They have glass, it's pretty cool glass walls, and they have all the, it's going to look high tech. I got the three big computer screens, so I look like, the trader, the hedge fund guy or whatever, but I'm going to basically have a 8K camera, 45 megapixels, and I'll be having at least one of those with two eventually. And we're going to be doing daily we're going to be putting out a lot of information, like a media network, a lot of information in the private money space, what family offices are doing, what hedge, everything that's for the real estate space. We're only talking about tangible assets, physical assets. We will touch on crypto, not to get anybody to invest or not supporting that, but to why you shouldn't invest in crypto, at least until, the governments actually get involved and start regulating it more. Banks aren't 100% safe, but banks and stocks at least have to have a paper trail. And usually, if people do things wrong, I mean, there's still Bernie Madoff and obviously WorldCom and Enron and all that, Theranos. So things do happen, but at least in those cases, it's a lot easier to have a paper trail, and for the SEC, the FBI, and other authorities around the world can actually mitigate that and investigate it. So we want to be providing a lot of resources too. It's a constant evolution. I mean, literally, every day I'm trying to pick up on what is needed. I wake up every morning, and the first thing I do is I literally will see about 10 or 15 people have sent me. They're looking for loans for real estate or for something else, or I get, a number of people are lenders that are looking to loan money. Most of them are probably scammers. I block them. I literally block probably 25 to 30 people a day. And I'm going to start, I don't really have a way to pull in the deals so we can actually vet them. It's just a lot harder to do when I get the volume I do. I also literally will check, the first thing I'll check is I'll check 4 to 5 main groups that I'm in on Facebook, and I'll check Twitter and stuff. But I will generally check about 4 or 5 just to see what's the conversation, what's the hot topic of the day, what's the warm topic. Maybe 2 or 3 days they've been discussing it, and what really some idiocy out there. What I've also seen, there's only a few groups on Facebook that are worth it if you're in real estate. There's a few other ones if you like gold and silver. I'm in a couple of them. So if you're into physical and tangible assets, usually we have a pretty good concept. Kevin's also really good at pulling out a lot of information from the Federal Reserve, as some of you know. Kevin was actually contacted by the Federal Reserve to Kansas City branch, which also serves over Omaha and Denver. I think they might have Wyoming. I'm not sure about that. As their area responsibility, and he was consulting with them on the last housing crisis in 2008 and 2009. So he has a lot of contacts locally there with economic development and some, he's tied into a lot of people in Kansas City, some money people, and of course his family's background. So we're able to put a lot of resources there, kind of telling you guys which way it's going. It's kind of like right now it could be going, things are kind of holding their own, improving after the pandemic. There's a lot of signs of that there's stress in the economy right now, and there's stress in housing. And we're seeing, obviously some of the same players that always promote housing as being the best thing to invest in are big names. One has the initials GC. You guys know who that is just by me saying what his initials are. But we also see a lot of people like Jim Rickards and some other individuals. Jim Rickards consulted with the CIA, MI6, MI5, State Department, Department of Defense on economic. He was an economic advisor on how to create economic warfare against our enemies. Because obviously we do a lot of weird warfare that isn't just armor, infantry, special forces, airstrikes, submarines, aircraft carriers. We do a lot of other stuff. So we kind of tap into some of those resources. Some of them people will say are conspiracy theory. Maybe they don't, I don't know. So what we like to do is consolidate information and provide that out to you. So I'm building this whole concept. We have a few, we obviously have the Investor Download Center, which I think is phenomenal right now. You can get it lifetime for $100. After March 30th, it'll be $5.99 at minimum. We are looking, if we're going to add some, we might have a second level that provides you a lot of more resources. If you get in right now to our masterclass program, obviously we're finishing up the masterclass that we're currently doing. You can actually jump in on their follow-up course classes, which are going to start in mid-April and go through June. That's going to be twice a month, and then jump in the new master class. In each master class, we get a little bit better. If you're in a master class, you're in 2020 or the current one in 2023-01, which I'm kind of like doing. It has like fire departments, police departments do their academies. It's 01, 02, 03, depending on which academy, what part of the year it is. I know SEAL's got a bud school, and they have like class 234 or class whatever it is. So we're also going to have a designation of when we do the class and what year. So you'll be able to actually just go right into master class, and it's $397. You can do that now, and you actually get access to a lot of the materials that are there. But we're putting together a huge program that's besides that, as well as our private money authority OG group, our PMA OG, and we're still working on. But we want to provide basically all of the resources you need. I think we're batting like 750 right now. So for a Major League Baseball team, we'd be like almost 350. What is it? What's the probably the best the highest batting average in the history of Major League Baseball? We probably double that right now of people that are successful. And some of the people that aren't are people that went into other things. We had one 2020 guy that's really good at insurance and is making a ton of money in insurance. I'm in contact with him. There's other people that are doing a variety of different things. But in our real estate program, we've got 5 or 6 from our 2020 group that are really doing well. We've got 4 or 5 in our current group that are doing well. Some of them were doing well before they came into it. They came to us to get additional resources like the lender list, the family office contacts, a lot of just the paperwork, the white label paperwork we have. But some of the new people are just now experiencing success because we give them the tools where they don't need a wholesaler to find them a property. They don't need to go online and ask for a lender because they get hit up by 10,000 people. They're going to have the resources to do that. Plus, they're going to have the analyzers, the loan calculators, all the white labeled documents, checklists, templates, you name it. They already have it. They're going to have it, and they're going to get more. So we're looking for people that want to succeed in this, and we can also get in the direction of gold and silver, osmium, precious metals, strategic metals, critical minerals, oil and gas. There's a lot of these are physical, tangible assets. You own them. You own your investment. Don't do like ETFs and things like that. Buy the physical, tangible asset. Buy the house. Buy the apartment complex. Join an LP, be an LP. become a deal sponsor and an operator, but own property that can be titled, own metals, minerals, things in the ground. Those are huge. I mean, cars don't really appreciate, but sometimes I, Justin Birch has one of the best. When we did our AI class, he had one of the best ideas we had at the end. He showed me something. It was like unbelievable. What you could probably do, like you could Airbnb Ferraris and Lamborghinis and things like that. I'm usually, I'm the Lambo, kind of anti Lambo, but hell, if you could go out there and Airbnb a Lambo with his strategy or a Bentley or something, it might be worth it. There might be some money into it. I haven't done a deep dive enough in it to understand it, and I think there's a lot of risk. But I think some people might find it interesting and might find it a good business opportunity. I don't know. We try to get people to look at things where you can own the title, and you basically can, whether you rent it or you flip it. It's great. There's other things you can flip too. I actually knew a guy who actually he got furniture, and people would normally give it to him. They're giving it away, and sometimes it's good stuff, and sometimes it's the hotel stuff. And you hear about hotel liquidators and things like that. He was getting new stuff, and he was conditioning it. And he was in college. This was just extra money for him in college, but he got so good at it that 5 years after he graduated college, he had three big warehouse stores, and he was making 7, 8 figures. You guys have all heard of Mattress Mac. Mattress Mac's the guy that I think he bet on the Astros, won like $75 million on a bet. He bet on the Super Bowl. He's bet on other things. Sometimes it's like people like criticize him, but the guy gets results. How many people know about Mattress Mac when they want to go buy a mattress? I think he's in Houston. I'd have to check on that, but there's people like that that are just incredible at doing that marketing. And so what we want to do is we want to encourage that. We want to encourage people to take risks, but take risks where you can actually do risk management. When I was a fire marshal, fire chief, I had a risk manager in our county that basically, we worked together to put a pretty, on a lot of different programs when we started our hazmat team and we started a lot of other things, so that was pretty incredible. But what we want to do is we want to encourage people to, I want to get people who want to get into this. If it's your dream or something, you're just thinking about it, you want to build, you can build cash flow and income. There's a lot of people will have different definitions of cash flow and income. A lot of people have a wealth, generational wealth, multi-generational wealth, and what Jesse and I joke about redonkulous wealth. You don't take Donkey Kong. It's like, hey, redonkulous. It's just like 10 times what ridiculous is. When you have enough wealth that your grandchildren's grandchildren don't have to worry about college education, because who knows what it's going to be like that. You might look at what it costs to go to Harvard Medical School right now, just to go to get an associate's degree in 10, 20 years. So what we want to do is we want to help people own things that they can invest in, set up LLCs and corporations, but preferably an LLC. Get in Wyoming, you eliminate your state income tax, no corporate income tax. You can't actually do an entity in your state. They can advise you on that. And obviously, an attorney, I'm not an attorney. I can't give you legal advice. I do watch Law and Order. I can do the Law and Order bit from TED 2 that Mark Wahlberg and Ted did. But I want to just let you know there's a lot of resources out there and a lot of noise. And we're going to go back to my white, I think I've done it on 3 or 4 videos, and I have one specifically about it. White noise is out there. I consider it like all this information overload. The wholesalers and the lenders and the people like trying to daisy chain properties and all that. There's a lot of noise out there. So how do you get through the noise? You get the resources and you get the access and you learn how to do it yourself. You learn how to use artificial intelligence, use some search engines to hit Secretary of States and other government websites, public records. Hit like your local county records. You can do it all through automated. You can almost automate it. You still have to do it. It still takes human resources to do it, but you can actually do this yourself. And if then you go get PropWire, which has a free version, and you get PropStream and Privy, you don't have to get all 3 of them. You can get 1 or 2 or 3, and you can scale. You will be able to do a lot more with those resources. And that's what I want to provide to you. I want to give you the resources where you're self-sufficient, and it's almost like DIY. You can go in and excel at this, and you basically start cutting out vendors, and you start cutting out, the people you need are the people you really need. You don't need somebody to come in and say, "Hey, I'm gonna, make money off you." Well, hey, I'm driving my Ferrari while you're struggling. So like I said, we spend probably 50% of what comes through the membership or the fees for the programs will be spent on development of refining. We get stronger every time. Everything we do, and what we're going into is fourth quarter. The first quarter of 2024, we'll be launching the virtual system. Virtual will be you'll be able to do an a la carte program or a couple of programs, or you could do a subscription where you up to how many people we haven't decided yet. How many people can actually be on a subscription and go? So you could have your acquisition people and your, I know some partnerships that have 5 or 6, 7 people in it, where you can put them all in there and they can bounce around and take different things. So if you've got somebody that's good at finance, they'll be able to go in and study the finance stuff and how to do cost segregation and some other things. There'll be people in there that learn how to do the rehab and the scope of work and the construction and that kind of stuff, the maintenance. So there'll be tracks for everybody, and it'll be just even more than real estate. There'll be all the tracks from real estate. We'll have Burr, we'll have Sir, which Justin's pretty good at. We'll have seller carry. We'll have the 3 option offer. We'll have multiple strategies, whether you're doing single family flips or rentals, or you're doing multifamily, self storage, assisted living, new construction, senior housing that's not assisted living, student housing, short term rentals, storage. I'll probably repeat myself 3 or 4 times if I keep going. But having those resources and having those avenues to pursue where you can scale. You can start out and do 1, 2, 3 properties a year or do 1 a quarter, do 10, you scale up, you set a goal. And it's all achievable because you can go in and get that information you need, and then you can apply what's going to be in the store. Right now, it's a little bit, little convoluted because we're trying to set up front office versus back office, lenders and funders. It's hard to do in the format we're doing, but everybody that's in it is going to transfer to the one where we have like a really clean, system. But also we're going to transfer over to Lightspeed VT, as in Vermont, Texas, lightspeedvermonttexas.com. You can actually go look at it. You can look up Storm Ventures Group at there.com. You can actually go to the contractor store, and what we're going to be doing is like the contractor store. You're going to have the virtual platform, and then you're going to have the packages. So if you want to be a real estate investor in this area, you can get everything you need for that. All your documents, your label, everything white label. If you're going to do assisted living, you got that, but you also have, people that are experts that can help you put together the care plan and the plan for what kind of, if you're going to do memory care, like Alzheimer's, dementia, if you're going to do injury, like people with spinal cord and other injuries. So basically, that's what I want to do. That's my goal by the fourth quarter and the first quarter next year to have that. And then everybody that's in now will get a free lifetime subscription as part of the beta. So basically, come in and beta test it and advise us, and as we kind of clean it up. At the end of 2024, I want to do a super conference. I see a lot of these people that do like a 1 day or a 2 day or a 3 day. What if we could get them all together at one time, and you could go to like a big event center like the Gaylord Resort in Colorado by the Denver airport? Like literally, if you literally sleepwalk from the hotel and you go north, you're gonna walk on a runway. So it's close, it's convenient. Denver airport's very reasonable. It's a hub, so it's actually very reasonable on the airfare. And we'll have a few activities. Obviously, people like to come to Colorado for a lot of reasons. A lot of us live here. But I want to provide a place where you can have like a 1 day event, and then you can go another day event, and you got 3 to 5 days, so you can go to 3 or 4 different things while you still do the general exhibition hall, meet vendors, have lenders, family offices, have 1,000 of them, 1,000 people there that are just lenders and family office representatives. Have multifamily events and have different things for different tracks. So you can go and pick up a lot of information, a lot of networking, have a giant meeting hall. Imagine having 5, 10,000 people there, basically, that come through 3 or 5 days, over a week, and you can sit there and meet all kinds of people. And there's a lot of partnership opportunities. JV is like a super conference. And I'm gonna start reaching. Once we do this, we're gonna start reaching out to people that do like. I know you do your 3 day event or whatever. Why not just come to Colorado for a half a day or a day and do just a mini version of your event for like 4 hours or 8 hours, and just, kind of scale down a little bit and show people, because that can also help promote your event when you have your big events. So what I want to do is I want to work with about 10 to 12 who in different genres of real estate and some private money, areas, some tangible physical assets, and bring in people who can do a wide variety of these programs because I want to offer that to people. So this is kind of what I'm thinking about right now. Sorry, I got a little itch. And also, got the stocking hat. So just a real quick explanation. So many of you people know that I actually had a parachuting accident in the Army, and I got a traumatic brain injury from it. So some other things, obviously. So sometimes I wear the stocking hat because it's just like sometimes you get the tingling. If you guys have ever had a headache, and you get right afterwards or right before you have the tingling and kind of it's not the pain but the weird sensation. Well, I have that like 24/7. So sometimes when I have the stocking hat on, I don't have it. It kind of just is. I know it's just kind of there. So just to kind of explain it. So, anyway, with that, you guys, if you want to reach out to me, you know where to find me. Nate at natemarshallcapital.com, info at privatemoneyauthority.com. I just got 10 domains yesterday, so they'll be all being plugged into the different platforms and, you know, systems. And then you can also reach me at Nate Marshall 303 is my on Facebook, or you can reach me on this YouTube channel. Just leave the comments for me. If you want to get into the program right now, it's $100 for life through March 30th on the Investors Download Center, or it'll be $5.99 after March 30th, or you can get right now $3.97 gets you into Masterclass. And you'll be able to start participating in April with the follow-up. Plus, you'll have access right now immediately to some of the materials that aren't available to anyone but the masterclass. And then you'll be able to do the new masterclass starting in July. If you wait till after March 30th, it'll be $9.97 or more. We're looking at some the other components. But right now, that is the best deal. And Investor Download Center gets you everything passively. You'll get videos on Wednesday morning that masterclass people get on Tuesday morning where they participated on, in their class. You'll get all the white label stuff. You'll get lender lists and all that stuff. You will not get the family office databases, the hedge funds. If you just do Download Center, you'll need to do masterclass, or you'll have to buy them separately because there is a significant cost of acquiring, managing, and kind of managing it. There's going to be 20,000 contacts, and we're going to be basically building searchable databases. You can imagine having 20,000 in there, and you're looking for a particular, need, or maybe out of real estate. Maybe you've got something like, blood testing, or I just don't want to make a joke about Theranos at this time, but, something else, that you want to do. You have a new idea to be like Carvana and have a car sales system or something. You'll be able to actually find that in our database. Has a subscriber. So I just wanted to reach out to everybody. I'm going to do a live stream and kind of go through this again. So I apologize if you see it twice. This is to be posted on YouTube, and we'll put it on Facebook, but I'm going to do the live stream on Facebook so that everybody can kind of see it live. So with that, I thank everybody for their time.